Nze Farida Nakazibwe ne NTV akawungezi tutandise n'ebibiri mu Parliament. Olwalero agava ku bizimbe bya Parliament galaga nti ababaka beyongedde okuteeka emikono mu kitabo okuwagira ekyokuddamu okuyisa etteeka erirwanyisa ebisiyaga. Kati emikono giweze 165 nga mulimu n'egyaba minisita. Kisuubirwa nti Parliament bwenaddamu okutuula ku lwokubiri lwa ssabbiiti ejja eno y'emu ku nsonga ey'okuteesebwako.
Olwalero abaka abalala beyongedde okwagira enteekateeka ey'okuddamu okuyisa etteeka erirwanyisa ebisiyaga eryagoba kkooti etaputa amateeka ssabbiiti ewedde olw'ababaka okuliisa nga tebawera. Weziwedde saa 6 nga nnamba y'ababaka erinnya okutuukira ku 125 nga bano bakateeka emikono mu kitabo era guno omuwendo gumala bulungi okuyisa ebbago lino erifuuka etteeka singa baba babaddewo mu Parliament nga lukubibwako akalulu.
Bwe twogerera kati nga omuwendo ogw'essalira ogw'ababaka 125 twamaze dde oguyisa.
Bangi beesunga olunaku mulindwa ebbago lino lw'linaakomerezebwawo mu Parliament.
Nga ndi bwamu nga ndi mu nsi nga sirina kyakulya Katonda ajja kungabirira naye tetusobola kukkiriza kino kugenda mu maaso ate tusaba Katonda n'abo ababiwagira abatukwatireko abalamuzi ekisa.
Omuwendo gwonna gwe tunasulira ne tunaba kutegeeza kututta naye nga tufiiridde kukuuma eddiini zaffe, enono zaffe n'ebyobuwangwa bwaffe.
Wabula kinajjukira nti ne ku mulundi ogwasooka ababaka bano era bwe batyo bwe baayogeranga kyokka okuyisa etteeka bwe kwatuuka ne beebulankanya. Waliwo n'ababaka abagamba nti okutafaanako nga bwe gwali mu kusooka ebbago lino basobola okulikubaganyako ebirowoozo era ne liyisibwa ku lunaku lwe lumu.
Akawairo akali mu rules za procedure ne tukasuspendinga ne tugamba nti tekyetaagisa okusindika etteeka lino mu komiti. Kati ne tulikonsalinga nge whole house ne tugenda mu second reading ne tugenda mu third reading okutuula kumuka tusobola kuliisaamu mu lunaku lumu.
Kino kigendereramu okulanga tebamala biseera bingi nga bali kubaganyako ebirowoozo.
Ezo kubanga tekyetaagibwa kulizaamu mu komiti oba kuleeta ripooti kubanga ebyo byonna twabikolako dda.
Olwayo nampala w'oludda olwabula gavumenti n'akuli oludda olwabula gavumenti yennyini bebamu kubalaza obuwagizi bwabwe ku kyokuddamu okuyisa etteeka lino.
District. I have already seen one to keep quiet. I have given another.
Minisita akwasisa empisa Faza Lokodo wamu ne minisita omubeezi w'eby'ettaka Aida Nantaba nabo tebalutumiddwa mwana.
Bakyalya mmere twakava mu cabinet.
Ku lwokubiri lwa ssabbiiti ejja Parliament esuubira okuddamu okutuula era ng'eno emu ku nsonga ababaka gye baagala eyogerwako mu bwangu.
NTV akawungezi abavuzi ba bodaboda mu Kampala abeegattira mu bibiina eby'enjawulo balabuddwa obutaddamu kukwata abavuzi ba bodaboda nga beerimbika mu kukwasisa empisa. RCC Aisha Kabanda aliko ekiwandiiko kyawadde ebibiina eby'enjawulo ebigatta abavuzi ba bodaboda ebibalabula okukomya omulimu okukomya okukola emirimu gya poliisi ne KCCA nga bakwata abavuzi ba bodaboda bebateebereza okuba nti emirimu bagikolera bweru w'amateeka.
Kino kye kiwandiiko ekyaweereddwa ebibiina ebigatta abavuzi ba bodaboda eby'enjawulo. Mu kiwandiiko kino ebibiina ebitaba abavuzi ba bodaboda birabuddwa okukomya okukwata abantu omulimu RCC gwagamba nti gulina kukolebwa poliisi na KCCA.
Tubaggyeko obuvunaanyizibwa bwe baali beetikka beebale nnyo okutuyamba batuyambye for some time n'endowooza kati naffe kituufu nga gavumenti tuddukanye omulimu gwaffe gwe tulina okukola.
RCC agamba nti abantu bangi baggiddwako bodaboda zaabwe mu ngeri etali nnambulukufu omuli n'okubasiba empingu nga kino kikolebwa abo abeeyita abakulembeze ba bodaboda mu Kampala ne mu Uganda.
Tetusobola kukkiriza mu Kampala kugenda maaso na nkola nga buli muntu waddembe okugulayo empingu n'atambula nayo nga bw'asanga tamusanyusa ng'amusiba.
Mu Kampala abavuzi ba bodaboda batalina siteegi nga bano baakazibwako oli abalubyanga bazivugira ku bunkenke era nga bakwatibwa olwo pikipiki zaabwe ne zibaggyibwako ekintu RCC kyaweze.
Ne balumye bannaabwe obujiji bawambye bodaboda z'abantu mpitirivu babakuba.
Bodaboda 2010 ekimu ku bibiina ebyaweereddwa ebbaluwa nga biyimirizibwa okuddamu okukwata abavuzi ba bodaboda bakumbye kwerima. Bano bagamba nti kikafuuwa okukomya okukola ebikwekweto era ne baweera nti bakugenda mu maaso n'okukwata abo bonna bavuga pikipiki nga tebalina biboogerako.
Simanyi nti owakatale asobola okujja mu bodaboda ate n'owa bodaboda tasobola kugenda kutereeza butale wabula aba bodaboda bennyini balina okwetereeza ate ffe tujja kwetereeza oyo yenna ayagala okutabangula bodaboda wadde ng'oli mu gavumenti wenkana otya tujja kwekeŋŋanga ate tujja kukolako n'obulabe nga bwe tusobola.
Abo balubyanza tugenda kwongerera ddala obbakwata tetujja kukkiriza kuvugira mu kibuga nga toyinaamu stage.
mu lukuŋŋaana lw'abannamawulire poliisi lwayita ku bbalaza yayogera ku bubinja bw'abeeyita abakulembeze ba bodaboda abatulugunya abantu era ne babeegaana nga bwe batabamanyisa ako n'okuvumirira ebikolwa byabwe. Patrick Mukasa, NTV akawungeezi.
Wabale nnyo Patrick. Awo wennyini we twagala okujja ekirowoozo kyo era twagala kumanya olowooza bekikwatako bakole ki okulungamya omulimu gwa bodaboda. Olowooza bekikwatako bakole ki okulungamya omulimu gwa bodaboda. Endowooza yo giteeke ku peegi yaffe ya Facebook nga bulijjo NTV Uganda tube nga tusoma ezimu ku zo mu maaso awo. Mu birala abazadde b'omwana ow'amagulu n'emikono 8 kati bali ku nguudo z'e Busia okusabiriza nga banoonya ssente ez'okutwala omwana waabwe okulongoosebwa ebweru w'eggwanga. Bano beetaaga obukadde obusoba mu 6 kyokka ab'emulago bagamba nti ebyokusabiriza kwa bano tebabimanyiiko nga bo bakyakola kunoonyereza ku mwana ono.
Maama w'omwana Margaret Awino akeera ku makya n'akola ku mirimu gy'awaka sako kutegekera abaana olwo ne yeegatta ku bba Boniface Okong mu kibuga Busia okunoonya ku nsimbi. Buli we bayita bagenda babagoberera bwe bawera ne bababikkulira ku mwana ono alina amagulu n'emikono ebiwera 8 era awo akwatiddwa ekisa n'abasuulayo z'abasudde. Bwe bakowa okutambula nga batubula era awo abasobola okubasuula omukono bwe babasanga. Bano bagamba banoonya obukadde 6 okutwala omwana waabwe mu Buyindi oba mu Egypt okumulongoosa kyokka wadde guli gutyo akasente kakyali katono.
Tugenda atambula mu bantu alinawo 5 2 atuyambe atuweeyo ebe entandikwa anawuka alinawo yena atuyamba atuweeyo.
Wabula ab'emulago batugambye nti ono babadde tebannamugamba nti balemereddwa nga bakyalinda omwana akuleekulemu.
Alina okusooka n'afuna obuzito abasawo ne basalamu ekyokukola. Abasawo tebanna bakusalamu okuba keesi eyo si keesi nnyangu tebanna bakusalamu kiki ekyo bagenda kukola.
Bano baali balina okubeera abalongo abanna bansasaana kyokka omwana omu n'atamerako mutwe kyokka amagulu go n'emikono nga kwebiri ono yakula obulungi n'alabika nga alina amagulu n'emikono 8. Ekitiisa mu kiseera kino ye mwana ate okufuna endwadde okuva ku bantu abangi abajja okumulaba wadde nga abazadde banoonya nsimbi. Bale nnyo abantu 4 nga 3 ku bo baana basimatuse omuliro gukutte ennyumba emukono mu kiro ekikeesezza olwaleero. Essigiri kwe babadde bafumbira yeekolezezza akatimba k'ensiri omuliro kwe gulandidde. Ate okuvaako ekibuga omwana bazadde be gwe balesse mu nju afiiridde mu muliro bwe gukutte akabenje kano kagudde ku kyalo Kibanyi mu ggombolola y'e Bukomero.
Betty Nanyonga n'abaana 3 okuli Kevin Mubiru, Trevor Mubiru ne Jemina Namubiru kati bapokya na biwundu mu kayumba kaabwe Ekitega mu district y'e Mukono oluvannyuma lw'okwokebwa omuliro bwe babadde beebase. Kigambibwa nti omuliro gwavudde ku sigiri yalekeddwa ng'eyaka nabwe kityo omuliro ne gukwata akatimba k'ensiri.
Mabwe yabaddemu kati yagenze okugira okufuluma bwati etakiriza abaana ng'omuliro gumaze okwamuka waggulu.
Ekikulu mu byonna abazadde bafuye ku baana.
Bano balindirira abazira kiso okubatwala mu ddwaliro olw'okubula obuyambi. Yesemaka ali mu bizinga by'Ebuvuma gy'akakalabiza emirimu gye.
Mbakubira abantu bonna omulanga bambi tusaba buyambi mutuwe obuyambi tutwale abantu bano mu ddwaliro. Yes tata abaana taliwo yatambula.
Bwe tuviiridde mu kifo kino ng'abatuuze beekozeemu omulimu okusondera abakoseddwa ensimbi yadde nga babadde baweereddwa obujjanjabi obusooka. Mu buufu bwe bumu Fred Musiso omutuuze ku kyalo Kibanyi Bukomero yafiiriddwa muwala we Gloria Namusiso w'emyezi 2 bw'asirikidde mu nabbambula w'omuliro.
Yafiiriddemu omwana w'omutuuze twageza okudduukira tusanga yonna eweddewo nga tukyaswana kulabika nga tusobola okulabika tutaasa ebbujje lyabaddemu.
Bwe nkubye essimu nga banga nti ate poliisi yagala emitwalo 10 basobole okubanga bajja nebuuza omuntu yafiiriddwa emitwalo 10 agijjawa.
Omugenzi yabadde alekeddwa mu nnyumba yekka maama we bwe yabadde agenze wannyazalawo okumufumbira amata so nga kitaawe yabadde akyali ku mulimu.
Twasanze omutuuze omu ng'ennyumba ye eyidde ne muggyiramu omwana we naye nnyina teyabaddewo yabadde agenze effumba amata n'asanga omuliro nga gukutte era omwana yasiriiriddemu.
ekyaviiriddeko omuliro guno tekinnamanyibwa yadde nga abamu bateebereza okuba nti gwavudde kataala akasangiddwa mu nnyumba. Poliisi etuuse mu kitundu okwetegereza embeera.
NTV yakawungeeza olwaleero abenju y'omugenzi Eli Wamala nga beetegekera okujjukira nga bwe giweze emyaka 10 bukyafa baliko abayimbi be bakkiriza okuddamu ennyimba ze. Bino babyogeredde mu lukuŋŋaana lw'abamawulire lubakubye awamu ne bannakatemba asaka abayimbi okumalawo oluvuuvuumu kuwetooloola ennyimba za Eli Wamala.
Erishama Lukwata Wamala yazaalibwa Bulusheke Mbale mwaka gwa 1935 mu maka g'abakadde be bombi abagenzi Ignatius Mutambuze ne Gladys Nabutiti. Wamala nga tannafa yategeeza nti ekyamusikiriza okuyimba yali mugenzi Reverend Canon Polycarp Kakoza eyayiiya oluyimba ekitibwa kya Buganda. Okuyimba kwe yakutandika wa myaka 5 ewa kojjaawe Daniel Katonda gwe yakula naye eyamuyitanga okusanyusanga abagenyi abakyalanga ewaka. Ne bwe yatandika okuyimba ng'akuze ennyimba za Eli Wamala zaali za njawulo olw'amaloboozi amanyonyotivu ge yakozesanga. Kino kyawaliriza ab'enju ye be yalekera obuyinza ku nnyimba ze okusaba abayimbi ab'enjawulo okuddamu ennyimba ze kibasobozesa okumujjukira. Ku nnyimba 69 ze yaleka ayimbye ennyimba 15 ze zikkiriziddwa okuddamu eri abayimbi ab'enjawulo wabula ne balabula abo abataweebwa lukusa kuddamu ennyimba ze nti amateeka ga kubakolako.
Ffe kye twagala ffe ng'abaana okulaba nti erinnya lya taata waffe lijjukirwa omwaka guno emyaka gino 10 wabeerewo enjawulo.
Mu kwogera kwabwe eri abamawulire abaana ba Eli Wamala bategeezezza nti yadde nga ennyimba zino zikkiriziddwa okuddibwamu naye obuyinza babwesigalizza nti kyokka abayimbi bakkiriziddwa okuziyimba yonna gye banaayimbiranga.
Naye si nti buli omu awulidde nti waddeyo press conference ajje ewa Pademan.
Omulimu guno gukwasiddwa abakugu omuli Pademan Kayiwanga mukwasi wa nnyimba mu kusunsula omutindo gwazo ng'ayambibwako n'ab'enju ya Wamala ssaako ne Geoffrey Kayimba.
Naye twanoonya abayimbi abalina passion abaagala ennyimba z'omugenzi abali baagala omugenzi nnyimba ze. Waliwo be twatuukirira n'agamba nti ennyimba zo nali sizifaako, so we had to let go of them.
Kyokka waliwo okwemulugunya nti abamu ku b'enju ya Wamala bawakanya ekyokuddamu ennyimba ze wabula ng'ekintu kino abaana bakigaanye.
Kubanga taata waffe yali muntu wa bannayuganda, teyali muntu waffe ffekka. Ffe twandisobodde okugamba there's too much drama and what have you, tukireke, but si muntu waffe ffekka.
Ye ssentebe w'ekibiina ekitaba abayimbi ne katemba Andrew Benon Kibuuka agambye nti kino kijja kuyambako okulaba ng'abayimbi baganyulwa mu ntuuyo zaabwe.
Buli muyimbi yenna nammwe abayimbi abali wano ennyimba zammwe muziprotectingi. Ono ye kapito wammwe.
Deni Lobowa Sava, NTV akawungezi.
Webale nnyo Den Lobowa Sava. Yo ministry y'ebyettaka evuddeyo olwaleero nesoomooza omuntu yenna agamba nti yagula ettaka okuliraana eggaali y'omukka aleeta obukakafu. Okuva KCCA lwe yatandika okumenya amayumba g'abantu abalinaanye leerwe waliwo bangi abavuddeyo ne bategeeza nti bo bagula ettaka.
Twalondawo bulunzi bo batunda leerwe nga ffe twagula okuva ku management yaliwo enkadde eyaleerwe.
Agwegamu ku maloboozi agaze gavaayo ng'abantu abamu bategeeza nga bagula ettaka okulinaana oluguudo lw'eggaali y'omukka wabula wadde abantu boogera kizibu okuvaayo ne balaga ebyapa kwe bagulira. Osanga kino kye kyawa KCCA obuvumu okukoona amayumba agazimbibwa okumpi n'oluguudo lw'eggaali y'omukka. Olwaleero abakulu mu minisitule y'ebyettaka bavuddeyo ne basoomooza bagamba nti bagula ettaka okulinaana eggaali y'omukka baveeyo n'obukakafu kubanga bo bakimanyi bulungi nti ekyapa be bakirina.
I want to inform you that there is a title.
Tulina ekyapa ku ttaka okwazimbibwa oluguudo lw'eggaali y'omukka n'ettaka lirinaanyeewo. Tewali muntu mulala gwe twawa kyapa ku ttaka lino.
On the same piece of land. I actually challenge anybody who has such a title to bring it.
Yo KCCA nakati ekyagenda maaso n'okumenya ng'etegeeza ng'abantu baweebwa obudde obamala. Enteekateeka y'eggaali y'omukka okutandika okukola esuubirwa okubaawo mu Desemba w'omwaka guno.
NTV akawungezi tukyagenda mu maaso eddakiika ziri 14 eziyise ku ssaawa emutovaawo soka olabe ebimu ku by'obusuubira mu kitundu ekyokubiri. Abasirikale abagenda okutalaga ebyalo okubunyisa enkola ya NADS batandise okutendekebwa. Emboozi yaffe y'ebyobulimi ekomyewo. Linda olaba beetanidde okulonda obunyonyi obuyitibwa obugubi bwe baganyuddwamu.
olugero lwa leero lukutuusibwako
Movit okwekakasa ku lunaku lwonna.
Ennungu enkaliriza ekisa tewona. Ennungu y'ensalika oba ebbwa wansi w'ekigere. Edda okuwonya ennungu baagikaliriranga ku muliro, omulwadde n'awulira obulumi obungi. Okujja mu bantu emize eminene oluusi kyetaagisa okubabonereza ennyo awatali kubasaasira.
Movit okwekakasa ku lunaku lwonna.
Hello?
Hello?
Teacher Agnes?
Yes?
This is me, Munji.
Hey!
You used to be my nursery school teacher. Oh! Anyway, remember that song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? I want to use it, but now I want to change it to Twinkle, Twinkle, Big Star.
But why?
Because I'm a big star now.
Make a call for whatever reason. Call someone, call anyone, and change your life. Make a call and you could win 100 million shillings, a car, or a smartphone with free data for a year. Plus, win 2 free minutes every day.
Airtel. Together we can.
You can feel it sweeping across Uganda, on the streets and in the offices, in the coffee shops and malls, in every university and home, and in every heart. It's a new optimism. This is when goals are reached and aspirations realized. This is when it all becomes possible. Standard Chartered Grand Sale. Standard Chartered. Here for good.
You know, Blue Band helps my child grow. That's why I never miss a slice.
Every slice spread with Blue Band is an opportunity for your child to grow.
Spread every slice, Mom.
Will do.
Stop tapping and start shaving. Introducing Gillette Blue 3. Its open blade, easy rinse design gives you cleaner blades for a smooth shave. No more tapping. Gillette Blue 3. Cleaner blades for a smooth shave. Gillette by P&G, everyday quality brands.
NTV akawungezi kwokyali eddakiika tuli mu 19 eziyiseeko. Twakusabye otubulire kyolowooza bekikwatako kye bayinza okukola okulungamya omulimu gwa bodaboda. Kiki kyolowooza bekikwatako kye balina okukola okulungamya omulimu gwa bodaboda? Ku Facebook mwatandise dda okuweereza endowooza. Ntandise ne Iko Malcolm Kata agamba mutuufu RCC ayimirize abakola bino kubanga Kampala kuyiya. Mutuufu abayimirize kubanga Kampala kuyiya. Ye Kasule Martin afuga agamba bano bafuuka ssekabwa keeyolere anti bakozesebwa abanene bangi. Tunaabawulira. Ye Pauline Aduka Anyango agamba ogwo mululu gw'abantu kati bo baliyewa baba babawambira ebikola. Nze ndowooza babalungamye ku mitendera gye balina okuyitamu okukola bakolere wamu mu kifo ky'okubawamba. Sembyeyo Lumanyika Nicholas agamba bodaboda zive mu Central Business District mangu ddala. Endowooza zammwe zibadde nnyingi era mwongere okuziweereza. Tujja kwongera okusoma ezimu ku zo. Bwe tweyongerayo okusalawo okwakolebwa President Museveni bwe yali ayogerako eri eggwanga gye buvuddeko nti amagye ge gagenda okwenyigira mu kutambuza enkola ya NADS kutandise okutuukirira. Abajaasi ba UPDF abakunukkirizeeyo mu bisatu olwaleero batandise okutendekebwa ku Yunivasite y'e Makerere gye bagenda okuweebwa obukodyo obw'enjawulo. Bano bagenda kuyamba abalimi mu ggwanga okufuna ebikozesebwa nga ensigo, ebyuma ebyeyambisibwa mu bulimi ssaako okubawa amagezi ag'ekikugu. Omuduumizi w'amagye General Katumba Wamala atutegeezezza nga bwe bagenda mu lutalo olw'okulwanyisa obwavu era nga basuubira mu bbanga lya myaka 2 wakuggyawo enkyukakyuka.
Ku efforts oba amaanyi agateekebwamu okukyusa embeera y'abantu baffe. Abantu bave mu kuyimba oluyimba lw'obwavu okuva January paka January.
Kati ekibayita security in development integration. Okuyingiza abamagye nga bagenda mu development programs. So se kuwamba.
Tubabayadde okutuusa ministry elegant kakati ekintu kitambudde. Mutukwatiddeko ekimala mutuleke tugende.
Bo mubatadde. Amen.
Kakati bo bano tebajja kugenda ku deployments zino nga za Somalia zaaki bagenda concentrating ku kino.
Government ebadde etaddemu ssente nyingi mu NADS naye tubadde bivaamu nga tetubiraba. Mu kugezesa government gye yangezesaako n'abasirikale 53 mu mwaka gumu twasobola okulaga ssente ntonotono ne tufulumya ebintu bingi nnyo okusinga bannaffe bali abalina ssente nyingi kye baakola.
Okumalako tujja kumalako. Eno uniform eno gyolaba teremwangako. Asante sana.
NTV akawungezi mpisa wano mu Buganda omuntu abazadde okumukulisa n'okumuyozayoza olw'essanyu ly'abatuuseeko. Wali eggabo okumpi ne Kampala waliwo wa bodaboda banne gobayozayozeza n'ebikopo by'obuugi, amandaazi, waragi n'ebintu ebirala ntoko.
Bateroka kanyimba kuliko omwana genda.
Bandaye wante twagalawo bagenyi. Tekito. Bandaye twagala bagenyi. Mugoro mungi nnyo.
Andika yero babi no genda kula eba.
Seka were. Origines wa seka were.
Mecha pakiezo.
Mwebale nyo mwana bachari bage. Tunachamukoze? Ya. Mwana fera tujachiborera ye. Ya. Saba mukama tukume tubereho bulamu.
Bonga ko. Cheto. Bari mukira hasi. Weza.
Kansubire nti Sekawere ajjukidde n'atwalirako ne ku Nakawere oli ku NTV akawungezi. Abaganda bagamba nti enswa bw'ekyusa amaaso nga n'envubu okyuka. Nabwe kityo obwavu gye bukomye okuluma bannayuganda n'okuyiiya. Mu kiseera kino waliwo abeefunyiridde mu kulonda obunyonyi obuyitibwa obugobe. Mu mboozi yaffe eyalima lunda gaggawalezemu olwaleero kati kutuuseeko omu ku balunzi baabwo nga ye Musumba Peterson Sozi asangibwa e Makindye.
Bw'otuuka mu maka g'Omusumba Peterson Sozi toyinza buteewuunya olw'amaloboozi g'owulira wadde ng'oba tolaba gye gava. Oluvannyuma tukitegedde nti gava mu bunyonyi buno obuyitibwa obugobi obulondibwa mu maka gano. Omusumba Peterson Sozi ensibuko y'obunyonyi buno agisimbula mu Bayibuli.
Era bw'osoma mu kitabo eky'Okuva essuula y'e16 n'olunyiriri olw'13 olaba Mukama agenda n'agamba nti nno n'agamba Musa nti bawe eno y'eneebanga emmere yaabwe enkya banaamanya nti nze Katonda era eno y'eneebanga emmere yaabwe nti bwenkeera ne balaba ng'obugubi bwonna bugudde mu lusiisira bano ne bakwatanga bukwasi ndooza n'amagi gaabwo ne beeriira.
Bw'oba toli mwegendereza obunyonyi buno obugubi oyinza obuyita obukoko obuto olw'enkula yaabwo. Omusumba Sozi ategeezezza nga bwe butali bupya mu Uganda naddala mu bitundu by'omu mambuka ga Uganda. Naye abaffe eyeetaaze okubulunda akola atya?
Okola ekiguli nga kya fuuti emu obuwanvu. Ako kake kakodyo k'okulunda obugubi. Kubanga bwe kaba kabuuka nga helicopter. Kati ate nga kafuna mangu abazungu gye bayindiise ba momentum. Kabufubutusibwe kati bwe kaba nga wantu wawanvu kaba kali ku speed y'amaanyi ne keekoona kafa. Nwekyo okateeka fuuti emu nti kaba kakatandika okugira bwe kati ne bakazaayo wansi. Wano obuwanvu oba obugazi bw'ekiguli kirina okubeera omukono gwo gye gukoma okugyayo eggi erisembayo nagano n'ogajjamu. Kubanga mu kayumba mulimu akaggi mwoyisa omukono n'amazzi n'emmere n'okugyayo amagi ago. Then wano obuwanvu osobola okukakola obuwanvu bwonna bw'oyagala oba fuuti 10 oba fuuti 2 naye nga obugulumivu n'obuwanvu n'akatimba okwetooloola wonna kaagala nnyo empewo kaagala nnyo omusana kubanga kabiika wakati w'essaawa 9 n'essaawa 6 ogw'ekiro kafuna ekitundu ky'olunaku n'ekitundu ky'ekiro era ababulunda balina okuteekawo ettaala ekiro kasobole okulaba emmere n'amazzi kubanga ssaawa 24 kabeera kalya.
Abalunda obunyonyi buno bagamba nti bw'obujjumbira tolema kwebuuza lwaki omala ekiseera kinene ng'onoonya omulimu oba ng'okozesebwa.
Akantu akali mu square meter osobola okulundiramu obugubi 40. Kakati akagubi bwe kaba nga kakuwa buli lunaku eggi naye bagamba nti akasajja kabeera kamu n'obukazi 4. Katugambe obusajja 2 obukazi 8 lye 10. Bukuwa amagi 8 buli lunaku zisinka 8 buli lunaku. Mwakatuteyo dda.
Obunyonyi buno bumanyiddwa kubiikira mu nsiko era mbalowooza nti wayinza okubaawo okusoomozebwa ng'obulundidde ewaka.
Bwe bubeera mu nsiko bwezaaza bulungi ne bumaamira eyo nga Katonda bwe yabutonda. Naye bw'obanga obutadde awaka n'okateeka mu kaguli kali nga kemba nnyonnyodde kasobola okubiika naye tekasobola kumaamiriramu. Kati amagi ago tugajjamu ne tugateeka mu kyuma. Ekyuma ekyaluza amagi g'enkoko kiba nga kikozesa ebbugumu lyerimu era agaalula eggi ly'akagubi.
Obugubi bulina emigaso ntoko era nga mu gino mwe mulina okuvumula endwadde. Bw'otunulira akanyiikana kayitibwa akagubi n'otunulira n'eggi erikavaamu ne bakubuulira n'omugaso oguli mu ddyo tosobola kukikkiriza. Obadde okimanyi nti woba oluzibwa endwadde ez'enjawulo n'olya ku ggi eno ofunawo enjawulo?
Abo abalina zino ze bayita allergies oyasimula pusa eyiseewo ate ebbugumu lyeyongedde ate lino ttono weetakulatakula ebyo ebirwadde ebyo by'otosobola nakumanya nti kirwadde gundi. Akagi kano kabikuba byonna omulundi gumu. Abasukaali bannange tulina obujulizi ng'olina sukaali ly'akagi sijja byongerako. Abalina obuzibu n'obwongo nga weerabiralabira abakulu n'abato abalina obwongo nga tebukola bulungi obwo nabwo obulwadde kabuwonyeza ddala.
Abo abatomerwa endiga nabo bakubiriziddwa okubweyunira mbu bulimu ekyama.
Naye kavumbuddwa nga mu ndwadde ze kamanyi nga keeriisa nkuuli be bantu abo abandibadde ng'oba abafiirwa abaami abatalina maanyi n'abakyala abakuba enkokola bagamba mbu kalina sexual appetite. Mwenna muba mutomeragana butomeraganyi.
Obunyonyi buno bugambibwa okuba nga bulimu ebika 130 era nga businga kubeera mu mawanga omuli Colombia, Japan ne America. Ivan Chimuli Kiguzi, NTV.
Babale nnyo Ivan Chimuli Kigozi. Eddakiika ebulemu yokka okwera emu n'ekitundu. Munzikirize tuwumulemu katono nnyo tulina ekitundu eky'ebyemizannyo temuvaawo.
Use White Star Laundry Bar Soap with a lemon fragrance.
and you'll have a fresh, clean day. Be like a star. Use White Star.
Don't disturb Daddy. My daddy is the star.
White Star Laundry Bar Soap. All day fresh clean.
Banange lufo ekyechuma wakijewa
yeyo piki jajiddeko agijewa it is of me tekisoboka okujja ngo badde onziba nedda boosi ku mutwalo gw'obadde ng'onsasula buli lunaku kwe mbadde nzija 15,000 lwe lumba luno awo nkutegedde nammwe mwenna mutereke ne Pride Microfinance musobole okwefunira ebirungi Pride Microfinance enkulaakulana nayo kwekwesiima kwaffe.
Get ready to be counted. Knowing how many we are makes it easy to plan for all of us. So, answer all questions correctly. Your information is confidential and is only used for equitable resource allocation, improving service delivery, and planning. Count for what counts. Starting from 28th August to 6th September 2014, together we count.
Mu mizannyo ttiimu ya KCCFC esimbula kiro kya leero okwolekera ekibuga Kigali Rwanda gye bagenda okutunkira mu mpaka za Sekafa Kagame Cup ezeetabwamu club empanguzi okuva mu bugwanjuba n'amasekkati ga Africa. Abazannyi 20 n'abakungu 5 be bagendera mu ttiimu eno esimbula mu kiro ku ssaawa 8. Omuzannyi Brian Omon abadde asambira mu ttiimu ya Azam Tanzania y'omu ku bazannyi abapya KCC begenda nabo e Rwanda. Mu mpaka zino omwonu wakwolekanya obwanga ne ttiimu ya Azam gye babadde asambira e Tanzania. Kino kidiridde Azam okuyitibwa mu mpaka zino ku ssaawa oluvannyuma lwa Young African okulemererwa okwetaba mu mpaka zino. Empaka zino zitandika Lwakutaano nga KCC yerigane Gor Mahia eya Kenya. Omulundi ogusookedde ddala mu byafaayo by'omuzannyo gwa golf mu Uganda, abazannyi abazannyira ensimbi okuva amawanga ga Africa ne Bulaaya bakwetaba mu mpaka za Uganda Open omuteereddwa ensimbi ez'okuwangula obukadde 10 bwe buteereddwawo aba kampuni ya Uganda Breweries okuwakanira mu mpaka zino ez'enjawulo ez'okuggyibwako akawuwo nga lumu omwezi ogujja.
Abazannyi ba golf w'ensimbi okuva mu mawanga g'abazungu basuubirwa okwetaba mu mpaka za Uganda omulundi ogusoose mu byafaayo by'omuzannyo guno oluvannyuma lw'abategesi okussaawo obukadde 10 obunaagabanwa abawanguzi b'empaka zino. Ensimbi zino zirangiriddwa ab'ekitongole kya Uganda Breweries kitundu ku ezo obukadde obusukka mu 500 eziteereddwawo amakampuni okuli Tusker Malt, wooteeri ya Sheraton, South Africa Airways wamu ne Uganda Tourism Board. Dewa Kopa akulira abazannyi ba golf w'ensimbi agamba nti ssente eziteereddwawo bakulwana okufa n'obutanyagwa okulaba nga tezibatwalibwako bagwira.
Tujja kuzanya buli nnaku, tujja kudduka, tujja genda mu gym, tujja kukola buli ekisoboka okulaba ati tujja kuzanya obulungi. Of course tujja kuba nnyo ne excitement lwa ssente bw'otunulira milioni 10 n'ogamba kati wempangule milioni 2 kingenda kukola no. Tugenda kutunulira kuki ku muzannyo. Tujja kugezaako okusooka tuzanye bulungi, then we tuzanya obulungi definitely ssente bajja zituwa.
Empaka zino era zakwetabwamu abazannyi abatazannyira nsimbi. Sam Mpoza, NTV akawungeezi.
NTV akawungezi bwete bwegenze byotafunye birinde mu NTV Tonight ku ssaawa 3. Nze Farida musire bulungi.
NTV, turning on your world.
ideas, but they can lead to tough stains. And for tough stains, there's new Omo Fast Action. Its super fast cleaning technology removes stains fast. New Omo, no one removes tough stains faster.
Just how powerful is the healing power of Vaseline? Imagine this leaf is like your skin. We applied Vaseline jelly to one leaf, the other we left alone. The difference is visible. And if it can keep a leaf vibrant, imagine what it could do for your skin. Nothing locks in moisture better to keep your skin restored, soft and smooth. That's the healing power of Vaseline.
Today's highlight.
Antonia! What are you? What did you do?
Let's see if you have the strength to always carry it in your conscience.
Help! Somebody! Help!
You see? It's Veronica. I told you not to leave her alone. If anything happens to her, you're gonna pay for it.
Oh no! Somebody help, please!
Today's highlight.
This is NTV. This program is rated PG. It is suitable for children ages 8 and above, but parental guidance is advised as it might contain mild violence and mature situations.
Good evening, my beautiful viewers. All of you kept on messaging me, asking me when I'll be back. Well, here I am, and I am so happy to be back. I had a beautiful baby boy, and I got so many well wishes, guys. You are amazing, and I love you so much for all the love that you gave me while I was away. You've been patient, and you've been loyal, and here I am, loyal to you. I have so much in stock for you this season, so make sure you stay right here on Login. Keep it locked. We all know African Woman magazine very well. Yes, as we are in the .com world, the magazine has gone online. Yes, as we all know, we have our phones handy, our computers handy, so you can easily go and look at the magazine online using your phone or your laptop or your desktop at home. It's very simple. And guys, we all know that we need this. Instead of carrying the book around all month to show your friends what you saw in the African Woman magazine, you can easily just click on your phone and you get to see the African Woman magazine. We managed to attend the launch. Check this out.
Oh, Toddy, what shall we do?
What shall we do?
African Woman magazine is now back on the market after a long break of 2 years. It's now better and more accessible to everyone, anywhere, as long as there's internet available. The The launch of the African magazine online kicked off with a cocktail, and different fashion lovers graced the function as they interacted with each other.
Basically, today we were launching the magazine online, and we were just giving the opportunity to potential advertisers and esteemed readers from before to know what we have in store for them, in addition to having the website go live. We appreciate your input. Basically, what you see here is we wanted to go for a very minimalistic feel to the magazine. We didn't want it to be overly crowded. And so we broke down our content into the following tabs, as you see: news, features, fashion, beauty, lifestyle, events, and the directory, which I'll explain in detail.
This website comes with benefits like giving a chance to advertise from it and making it easy to access every past issue. Well, guys, online is the way to go because this is the new generation. So, guys, make sure you go on your computers, your phones, and check out the African Woman magazine. We're going to take a quick break. Make sure you don't go anywhere because we have the Marketeers Night coming right up.
NTV, turning on your world.
An idea.
Children's amazing ideas can lead to tough stains. And for tough stains, there is new Omo Fast Action. Its super fast cleaning technology removes tough stains faster. New Omo. No one removes stains faster.
New Kame body lotion. He's always so busy, but no need to worry. I know my way to his heart. New Kame lotion with oils for moisture, long-lasting moisture that lasts so long, all day long. Your skin glows. I know it glows. Skin so soft. Oh, what a glow! You're the queen of my heart. I'm a Kame kind of woman. Discover new body care collection from Kame.
Welcome back from that quick break. You are still watching Login. For those who think the corporate world is all about boring, well, you got it wrong because we also tend to have some fun. Like the Marketeers did last week. They had a Marketeers night where they were hanging out, mingling with each other, and of course, getting contacts. Because when you're a marketeer in the marketing world, you have to meet other marketeers from other companies so you can see how you can better sell your brand or whatever you're selling, right? That's marketing for you. They did it in a fun way this time. It was a nice cocktail with food, drinks, and people, of course. What more do you want? And music. This is what happened at the Marketeers Night. second Kampala Marketeers Night this year was a blast as different corporates came together to network, have fun, and create more contacts. It was a fun-filled night with soothing live band music, and a lot of drinks were served courtesy of Tusker Malt Lager.
Again and again and again, yeah.
I think it's a wonderful forum for marketers to get together, to share their ideas, to network, and for us to also just learn from each other's experiences. Based on my own presentation today, I was able to learn from the audience and also to share with the audience what we have done at Imperial Bank, and especially on the social media space. So I feel it's a wonderful forum, and I commend Marketing Africa for the work that they have been doing over the last 10 years.
We have the second Kampala Marketers Night, 2014. We do this forum 3 times in a year in this market and 24 times across 5 cities in East Africa. First, the key plank for this forum is to pull professionals from different corporates to come network in an easy and fun environment, aside from, of course, being entertained by us.
Different ideas on how to improve marketing in the country were given by different company marketeers.
NTV has always supported Marketing Africa, and Mr. Kalomba has done a tremendous job, and that's the reason why over the years NTV has been part of this. We want to appreciate the role of marketing, we want to appreciate the role of marketing society, and it's because of the marketers that NTV is the #1 station, because they give us support, they partner with us, they give us all their advertising revenues, and we take a very big share of that. So we want to say thank you, and we want to say thank you especially to the sponsors, the guys who put this thing together, and NTV will continue to support that because we're a station of innovation and we're a station of choice.
Help me, won't you help me? Yeah. She looks up to the sky, and then she heard a voice say, hey, when you cry, I cry. I cry along with you. When you smile, I smile. I smile along with you. When you cry, I cry. I cry along with you. When you smile, I smile. Break it down.
What's a party without food? That would be totally boring. But the food at this Marketeers Night looked sumptuous and tasted so good. We were then treated to dessert that was served in variety and in plenty.
When my answer is much greater, just prove that you love the paper. With the paper she said, help me, yeah. Won't you help me, yeah. She looked up to the sky, and then she heard a voice say, when you cry, I cry. I cry along with you. When you smile, I smile. I smile.
This was more than a Marketeers Night, as it turned out to be a night full of fun as Marketeers relaxed off their stress. Well, guys, I'm sure you had such a great time collecting those contacts. I mean, the marketing world is not so boring after all. Well, we're going to take a quick break, But get ready for our third segment where we're going to be looking at the percussion discussion at the National Theatre. Stay hooked.
NTV, turning on your world.
Use White Star Laundry Bar Soap with a lemon fragrance and you'll have a fresh, clean day. Be like a star. Use White Star.
Don't disturb Daddy. My daddy's the star.
White Star Laundry Bar Soap. All day fresh clean.
For every morning to be a good morning, all your baby needs is your love. And a dry night's sleep. New Pampers with more super gel. It locks wetness inside, keeping it away from your baby's skin all night long. Pampers, wishing you love, sleep and play.
Must watch.
Solana, do you remember the day when you bumped into me at Janana's shop? When you got grease on my uniform?
Sure, of course. Are you here to ask for compensation? Tell me what I owe you. I don't like to be in debt with a pretty woman.
I just wanted to know where you got your hands dirty with grease. Actually, I would like to know if it wasn't from Victor Villar's plane.
Talk to my son, Fred. I dare you. Tell him. And it will be the last thing that comes out of your pretty little mouth.
Must watch.
Thank you for keeping locked on Login. We have more for you. The percussion discussion had a show at the National Theatre. For those who don't know what it is, it's all a mixture of drums, strings, and all local instruments. Pretty amazing music, of course. That's what the corporate world needs. We need to take our African music to the next level. And these guys are doing quite a good job. Take a look.
Percussion instruments are musical instruments that are sounded by being struck, scraped, or rubbed. Percussion is the heartbeat of music ensemble working in close collaboration with bass instruments.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the team Percussion Discussion Africa, I'd like to welcome you all.
Percussion is the heartbeat of musical ensemble working in close collaboration with bass instruments when present. In jazz and other music ensembles, the pianist, bassist, drummer, and the guitarist are referred to as the rhythm section. Here in Uganda, Percussion Discussion is one group that has been existent since 1997 and has decided to take African music to another level by producing its own original sound. The team is composed of a group of 10 and the renowned Okello Samuel, who plays the bohab. It's a traditional instrument, Said Kasule, who is a very good saxophonist, and Haman Sewanyana, who plays the drums and composes songs together with Michael Mosoke.
mpulira bulungi nnyo kuba mpulira essanyu kasa mpulira eŋŋoma. Amazina gasinga okunyumira bagayita otwenge dance gava mu West nayo yakuboda ya Congo ne bwe gatyo.
We imagined fusing our traditional instruments, our own instruments, with the Western instruments. You know, we imagined that maybe something different would come out, and indeed it came out. This is the sound we are producing now. Yeah, as in a drum, the symbol of Africa. Somebody looks at a drum and gets to know that this is Africa. Percussion discussion in Africa uses a lot of drums in the music for a reason. It's an original African instrument. But of course, we mix it up with the rest of our traditional instruments and the Western instruments as well to create that fusion.
It was a melodious night driven by the African fusions that was created by a percussion discussion who treated their audience to the African sounds and dances. The African touch created by the drums and dances lightened up the whole night. The dancers really enjoyed every performance they put up. It was a night to just go African, as percussion lovers couldn't help getting up to dance to the tunes. Others just twisted.
Yes, the far eastern part of Uganda. Kenya.
Well, guys, that was the percussion discussion at the National Theatre. It was beautiful live music, and they're taking African music to another level. So good job, guys. Well, guys, make sure you tune into the show next week because that's all we had for you this week. This is my first day back, and I'm loving it, and we have so much in stock for you this season. I love you guys for watching. Keep watching Log In here on NTV.
NTV, turning on your world.
Sometimes children have amazing ideas, but they can lead to tough stains. And for tough stains, there's new Omo Fast Action. Its super fast cleaning technology removes stains fast. New Omo, no one removes tough stains faster.
My name is Musa, your travel agent. I'm taking you around Africa, our motherland, a land gifted with beauty that flows right from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Our first destination will be Rwanda, a land of hills and beautiful ladies. Then Tanzania, the home to the great Kilimanjaro mountain. And Kenya, the Masai Mara home. If I may ask, anyone with more exciting sights?
Movitable jelly and movitable soap.
That shows her love for quality African-made products. In fact, I move with Movit Herbal Jelly too.
My friends and I at Campus all use Movit Herbal products. As in, I even carried mine.
To have a good service, I first bathe with Movit Herbal soap.
You see, I gave the right answer. Even at home, we use Movitable gel and Movitable soap. Me too.
Movit. All day confidence.
Today's highlight.
Antonia! What are you? What did you do?
Let's see if you have the strength to always carry it in your conscience.
Help! Help! Somebody! Help!
You see? It's Veronica. I told you not to leave her alone. If anything happens to her, you're gonna pay for it.
Oh no! Somebody help, please!
Today's highlight. This is NTV. This program is rated PG. It is suitable for children ages 8 and above, but parental guidance is advised as it might contain mild violence and mature situations.
La Patrona
is brought to you by
Meditate Soap, the #1 warrior against germs on your skin.
You got that?
Boss, listen, boss.
Didn't we agree that you wouldn't interrupt me until I finish this report?
Yes, sir, I know. But this is a special call.
Yeah, from who?
From someone you swore to arrest.
I promised my father before you murdered him. I swear to you, Antonia, you won't forget Gabriela Suarez. Because one day, you and I will meet again. I won't rest until I see you kneel before me. I promise you that you're going to beg to die when my vengeance begins, I swear it! I shall be your final judge, Antonia Guerra. I shall be your death!
Gabriela Suarez.
Stay right here and take it easy. The doctor
Yes,
said
my
you need at
love.
least 3 days of rest.
Don't you worry, I feel fine now.
Yes, but you need to rest, okay?
All right.
Well, this is a very special night for me, and I have a few words to say to you all. You guys are my family. And this great woman with whom I fell in love with, this woman, together with my little princess, have changed me in a way that that no one else has ever done before. Not even the cops.
Are you about to tell us something bad, young man?
Yeah, stop being so corny. Just say what you have to say.
Good evening.
Commissioner, what are you doing here at this hour?
Well, I'm here because...
Because I called them. Thank you for coming, Commissioner. That's exactly what I wanted to tell you all. It's time for me to pay for all my crimes.
Relax, calm down.
How can I be calm if you're pointing a gun at me?
Yeah, it's just so you won't go running off anywhere. I swear I won't hurt you if you help me. My life's in your hands. You got that? Take it easy, but hurry up. Calm down.
No, honey, why? Why are you doing this? No, Commissioner, you're not taking him. This isn't fair.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I have to do my job.
Just calm down, sweetheart. I'll be fine.
No.
Balmaceda, please don't cuff him here. Not in front of the kids.
Lucho's not a criminal. Why did you turn yourself in?
Why didn't you tell us anything?
All right, family, please. My two women, you're already safe and cared for by your loved ones. On the other hand, I need to start all over. I want to give you and my princess the honest lives that you deserve. Alejandro, I know that she's your daughter, but when I get out of jail, I'd like to be your second father, okay?
You already are.
Lucho, I understand your reasons, but you're going to jail after all we went through in that place where we were locked up.
No, darling, you already spent years in a hideous place with a lunatic who tortured you. What more do you want?
Listen, honey, I'm sure I'm not going to be in jail for long because I'm going to have the best lawyer defending me. Can I count on you, Ricardo?
You don't even have to ask. You know you have all my support.
Thanks. Can I count on you too, Commissioner? Will you respect the deal that we made when I called you?
What deal?
Vampa offered to turn himself in today on just one condition. That I turn a blind eye to all of you and not arrest you for aiding and abetting a fugitive.
NTV, turning on your world.
Asimwe, you're drunk. Don't worry. Sentence, so what him?
Sawanya demo mwenge.
Hani kutamu. Ha? Nkuunyi.
Tonna bakusasula myezi ebiri gya nyumba gye batubanja. Oli mukunywa mwenge n'abakazi.
Kikulu nnyo ffe abeewola okumanya zi banka n'abatuwola engeri gye babalamu amagoba.
Lwaki obuuza ekibuuzo ekyo?
Sente zaabwe.
Dembe lyo. Ekyo kikulu nnyo okukimanya. Onfuna kikulu nnyo okusooka okunoonyereza tusobole okwetegereza n'okwekkaanya. Okifuna amagoba n'oluvannyuma tulondeeko amagoba agasinzeeko okuba amatono.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus came to set you free and to be free indeed.
In life, you don't wait.
Yeah.
There are certain times where you wait for certain decisions, but when it comes to taking action and choices, you have to move.
Jesus Christ found me, and he actually asked me a question, whether I wanted to live or to die.
Struggling. It's just that God has given me this kind of hope.
GXP Every TV, your official inspiration station.
I was going to my hall, someone came from my back and was
how tugenda okwebaka ekiro yanga mwami omanyi olwakeko nange omulundi gw'ogusembayo.
I went to the nurse and asked why is it that our father is negative and for us we are positive.
Every time I find a story of assault of one person to another, I get disturbed.
Mwayombye ekiro lwaleeta suzeewo lwe bakwokezza naze poza kimu nti mujja wange yanjokezza.
Kino ekyafa kino kyali kyakulira muno mu lubuto.
The Irene I know just loves music and loves to sing. I've never seen her even smoke a cigarette.
The days of legal trade in slaves are history, following its abolition in the 1800s.
They tie you like this. That's when I started getting past.
Everybody has a story, but yours will only become our story when you share it.
A wife who you got through the office will be very insecure about you working in another place.
Always hunt up, don't hunt down.
You mean what? Go after your superior?
How dare you suggest that when a woman is aggressed against, we should look at the person who's been aggressed against?
Let the couple be. Let them sort out their issues. When they need you, then you'll come in.
Prostitution is being given a new brand.
All I know is that I connect people.
Let's not choose to open our zips and do whatever our urge is, because I don't think that an urge is stronger than your will to say no.
Of questions, shame to HIV.
I do not believe that when you wear a short dress, you should be around.
Marrying a wife is like having assured sex.
Anytime you come, you must have.
Yes. You raise a population that has no clue how to be men.
Can you bring out a quality family?
I don't get married for my family.
Men, every Wednesday only on NTV.
Aro, give me 5 stress, 3 gonorrhea.
Kale muli wano, you think you've brought Pampers? Omwana yenna asobola okugamba super deep. Si myaka gyaffe.
I'm like, I like my swag too. So what about it? Then she was like, I also like your accent. That village accent. Now.
Why are you crying?
I think I'm Big Mitch. Larry Hoover. Put that in Kiprotich's accent.
I think I'm Big Mitch. Larry Hoover.
NTV, turning on your world.
This week, Uganda and Kenya attained a major trade-enabling milestone when they agreed to remove non-tariff barriers. The Kenyans had placed huge non-tariff barriers on Uganda's sugar exports to Kenya, complaining that Uganda's continued importation of cheap sugar was actually responsible for the surplus which we are exporting or dumping to Kenya. Welcome to Money Matters. Coming up on the show, beekeeping and the business mind that goes with it, the untapped potential around Uganda's aviation industry, and balancing a career with entrepreneurship. The poor quality of public services has been decried by many. At the heart of it all, however, is the poorly skilled public servants, an aspect often ignored by most. In View from the Top today, we look at what government is doing to raise the skill stature of its human resource in view of a stressed public service system.
What's the vision behind this initiative?
The vision behind the initiative of establishment of the Civil Service College, actually before I go into the vision, the whole idea came with the NDP. NDP 1 identified weak human resource management in the public sector, 2010 to 2015-16. So it identifies weak human resource management as one of the major binding constraints in the public sector. And one of the key interventions that is proposed under the NDP1 is establishment of. At the same time, apart from the NDP, there has been the Ministry of Public Service, as well as the entire government, has come up with what we call a policy paper on transformation. And it identifies a number of interventions that can be undertaken to improve the effectiveness of the public service. And one of the areas is training, and also proposes establishment of the Civil Service College. That's why the Civil Service College was established. People have PhDs, people have master's degrees, people have degrees, sorts of qualifications. However, those qualifications are not enough. By the way, studies indicated that Uganda is one of the countries with people with highest qualifications in the public sector. But those qualifications are not enough. We also need what we call soft skills. When you are in a workplace, how do you handle the workplace, for instance? How do you increase your effectiveness at work? How do you manage relationships at work, for instance? These are some of the areas that improve productivity. So qualifications alone are not enough. And the college would actually be emphasizing this area of soft skills.
The quality of our public service or servants, looking at the academic qualifications, is high. Like
yes, that's true.
And away from the soft side of things, again, we're seeing a problem when it comes to public service delivery. And many people are complaining about the quality of service they get when they visit public offices and that kind of thing. Tell us, how is the college coming in to bridge this gap?
The college is coming in to bridge this gap, largely through training, but also through other innovations, other programs like innovation. And one thing we recognize is that we inherited the public service from the colonial government. The needs of colonial government are different from the needs of society. But over time, we have kept the public service working on those same grounds, on those same principles. So the college, through training, will reorientate public officers to change their thinking about their role, to know that their role is to develop this country.
In your programs or your goals, do you have space also for politicians? Because many times we see that unfortunately the politicians make the laws under which you operate.
Yes.
The politicians,
that's true.
at the end of the day, make the last call.
That's true. Actually, the Civil Service College looks at the civil servants as well as the politicians. It blends the two sides of the public service. And in some of our trainings, like we have leadership and change management. And one of the things we have done when we rolled it out was to say, let's start with the local governments. So we went into districts and trained leaders. But who are the people we are training? We brought together the LC5 chairperson. We brought together the speaker. So we are bringing the technical staff as well as the politicians together into one room and train them for municipalities and districts. And we have trained all of them in the country. And we bring them together, and then they start talking. They start discussing issues and say, oh, but at the end of the day, they would say, oh, why have we been conflicting? I think the future for Uganda Public Service is good.
Very good. On that note, thank you very much, Enoch.
Thank you so much.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.
Thank you.
A new report by the African Airlines Association says Uganda loses approximately $78 million a year in revenue due to the limited opening of its aviation industry. But the Civil Aviation Authority has rejected the findings contained in the study titled Transforming Intra-African Air Connectivity, saying that Asian and European airlines have had larger investments into the local market instead.
Uganda's economy is feared to lose nearly $78 million annually and job opportunities amounting to 18,600 because of failing to fully open its airspace, according to new findings by the African Airlines Association.
In 2011, we attracted 3 international airlines of high repute, including airlines like Qatar and others, Turkish. They came here. That is part of what we are talking about, the liberalization as a result of the Yamoussoukro decision. Of course, we would want to open up to African airlines, because that is what it's largely all about, promote our own airlines and allow them also to participate, just like the other airlines from outside the African continent are doing.
The Civil Aviation Authority, which is responsible for the regulation, licensing and operations of the country's airspace, however, insists that the current opening is broad enough.
Like I said, you may open your space. It's those who are interested to operate that will come. And I don't know of any airline that has been here and has been denied the license, unless, of course, it does not fulfill the safety and security requirements as provided for by the International Civil Aviation Organization.
But in spite of hitting 1.4 million in inbound passengers, sector players drawn from the tourism industry maintain that high pricing of tickets, a factor captured in the new report, casts badly for business within the EAC region.
We're already price sensitive as an expensive tourist destination. Your inbound flights are one of the highest costed destinations in Africa. So when people are flying in, they're spending a lot of money to come into Uganda. Your fuel costs and your operational vehicles are averaging out at $200 a day per vehicle. So when you take those costs into effect, our market competitiveness is losing value.
Indeed, some of the key players in the region are also faulted in the African Airlines Association over protectionism, coupled with high taxation that is affecting economic benefits. It cites a return ticket between London and Tel Aviv, a 3,560 kilometer, which costs an average of $350 compared to 231 kilometer distance between Nairobi and Arusha at the same rate.
And hotels have started doing that themselves. You go and book a hotel sometimes in the morning, you pay $100. Come afternoon when you go, it's $140. So you're all in the same hotel, but you're paying different fares, different prices. So that is the message.
It's also believed that Middle East carriers such as Qatar, Emirates and Etihad are equally having a failed business day across the African airspaces and raking more cash than the continent's own airlines.
What this does is that the insurance companies that would actually cover them as they travel to these destinations, they either hike the rates or actually refuse to insure them. Now, the traveler, normal traveler, high-end who is coming to Africa for any reason, without insurance, it's almost a no-go zone for them. So naturally, it will affect us financially and economically.
Fledgling airlines, however, reason that the need to nurture domestic airlines is so key in building traffic, lowering ticket fares, and enhancing tourism across the continent.
I think for markets, as you know, we had probably the biggest capacity in terms of connections to all points. We had flights, obviously, Nairobi is 3 times per day. We are going to Dar es Salaam twice per day. Juba 3 times per day. We are the only airline which was flying out of this market direct to Juba and Mogadishu, and direct to. We have Kilimanjaro as well and Mombasa direct out of here. So the impact on our passengers has been huge.
Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat. Follow the beat. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Follow the beat.
Follow the beat, follow the beat. Follow the beat. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Follow the beat.
Mr. Krabs, are you ready to party?
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it.
Wow! Hello, fellow motor enthusiastics.
Oh, Mr. Krabs,
Isn't there any way for us to return all of them back to normal?
Hey! How'd he do that?
The Red Ranger's a bigger problem than I thought.
It's time to finish this thing up.
What can I do to make them love me again?
What are you drawing?
Oh, that me to Ivan Chinawa's death.
No one has ever cared to assess rigorously the cost of adulterated fuels, mostly the financial implication it may have. This is an illegal malpractice in the fuel sector, which normally involves illegal mixing of kerosene with petrol or diesel by some fuel dealers so as to maximize profits. Authorities in the Energy Ministry say that the problem starts at the entry point.
When the product reaches the border and is declared is destined for Uganda, we introduce a marker to a given concentration level into that product. Okay? And we follow the concentration of the marker. So when you find the concentration of the marker diluted, you know that that product has been mixed with the product that was not destined for Uganda.
Officials say that the problem of fuel adulteration exists, but the country is in line with international regulations on clean fuel.
The problem for us, we know that we have really progressed quite very well. Because in 2010 March, the compliance rate was around 70%, 71 to 72%. That's where we began. Today, we are at 97%. Best practices world over are at 98.2, 98 point something there. So we are moving. The one problem is that the closer you get to the best practices, the harder it becomes to.
We sought an expert view from a mechanical engineer on how dangerous contaminated fuel is to motor engines.
That fuel is mixed sometimes with water or paraffin. So now when you put it in a car engine, when you put it in the tank of the vehicle, as you drive, of course the car will not stop, will not refuse to start. It will of course run, but with a lot of restrictions. So when you force it, it will take, because as a driver you may not know what's happening. So for you to think you are driving normal fuel as usual. But that fuel will go into the piston rings and affects the piston rings and maybe bring out a black smoke from behind. So it can cause valve seals to get problems. Those valve seals of the cylinder head. So sometimes you may need an overhaul.
And in the event that someone buys adulterated fuel and it damages the engine, what are the implications for legal redress?
In most cases, I have had some people coming to me saying, you know, Commissioner, I have a problem with the fuel I got from here. Then you ask the person, where is the receipt? He does not have any evidence that even he got fuel. So, in the first instance, I think it would be prudent that we demand receipts from these stations where we are getting fuel.
Energy Ministry officials also say that much as adulteration is a criminal activity and very difficult to regulate, there are legal instruments already in place to check the vice.
We have the law, which is very clear. We have the laboratory, that is the central laboratory for referral of any arbitration or complicated cases. We have the mobile equipment that is moving all over the country, which will be increasing capacity even by another additional one in November. So we do have the capacity.
How do you make money from the honey business? It requires, of course, that you manage bees, but there is much more to it. This is the focus for making money this week.
Here at Money Matters on NTV, we receive quite a few questions from people who have saved a few million shillings and are wondering where to put the money. Let us consider beekeeping or apiculture today. Like it is with many agricultural ventures, you need land to do the bee business.
Isolated place, so don't put the beehive in the town, don't put the beehive near the mosque or near in the market or near the school.
Because of the danger that bees can have when they attack, a woodland or secluded area with good vegetation would be ideal. If you have such a place, next you need to have the know-how.
You must listen, understand, work. Work, get money. For me, I paid attention to bees, to different people. I involved myself to make beehives. I am now getting money after selling honey.
Training is crucial and available, starting with the National Association for Apiculture. At the heart of this business are beehives. You could buy hives, which will cost about 120,000 each, or explore other options.
You can make resources within your community to make a beehive. You begin by making, don't talk about how much money. You say, can I make a beehive? Then if you have the money to buy, fine, can you buy a beehive? But the first thing you want to begin with, begin by saying, can I make a beehive? And you can make a beehive from locally available materials.
Of course, the paraphernalia, from the harvesting overalls to the smoke gun, and such things as the bee farmer calendar.
You should know when they are building. We should know when they are carrying the nectar to the beehive. You should know when the honey period is on, so that you can go to the beehive and get it. About the bee farmer calendar, they need training so that they can know when to harvest.
As a business, it must be worth the investment. The honey market is insatiable so far.
The local market pays more than even export market. So we've not reached the levels of exporting honey. Like in Uganda, the European Union has approved us to sell our honey outside, but the production is too low. We cannot sustain it because the demand for honey is very high.
Here is the math. A liter of honey will cost 140,000 shillings. Kisari has gone to over 300 hives, harvesting 2.5 tons of honey per year, with 3 harvests after the initial 6 months after setup. He earns 25 million shillings annually. Value addition will be a plus. The right supervision is needed, and tracking the investment and its returns a must.
This week's entrepreneur, Ivasta Kahunde, is a systems engineer by profession, but away from all the seriousness, she is fascinated by interior design and all things beautiful. This is her story.
At the end of university, the future can many a time hold a lot of uncertainty. In order to avoid becoming a statistic as one of the several unemployed youth in the country, Ivasta Kahunde birthed an idea that has since lived beyond her university dorm room.
So I really love shopping, and I thought, why don't I start shopping things that I love, like interiors. I love housing and the interiors and the outdoors, and so I thought, what can I start? Because I was almost finishing university. It was in 2011. So I thought I would start something that would be continuous even after I came back. So I had money of my own set aside because I'd been saving for it. And I asked my mom for a loan as well. So I topped up, and that's how Stars Interiors started.
Even for a dream that was as noble as hers, with a clearly thought out plan, like many other businesses, it got off to a somewhat rocky start.
The first 2 years were quite challenging because you're not sure if someone will call you up for an order or not, or and then we opened shop, and then you think that since you've opened shop, everyone's going to be walking in, but you have days when you have no clients or you have lots of clients, so it's really been a learning curve.
However, her passion for what she does, coupled with a necessity in the market, has somehow helped her business to thrive amidst the challenges.
There's a gap in the market for accessories, for homes, just small things to make people happy. Also, girls come in for bridal shower presents, baby shower gifts, So, yeah, our range of products is from your home to gifts. It ranges from home accessories to gifts.
Above everything else, Ivasta attributes her success thus far to discipline and a good work ethic.
I haven't got money out of this business. What it does, it self-sustains itself, and I basically get the profits and plow them back into the business. So all the sales that we get either pay for more stock, rent, salaries, other expenses that come along with running our business. So I guess people think that you've got a business, you should be, getting money every day, but actually don't do that. I'm waiting for the growth factor more than the day-to-day money that you get out of a business.
And because she's also in employment, she has to juggle two very demanding tasks, and therefore, her mode of operation is a little different from other businesses.
I'm a systems engineer. That's what I studied and that's what I graduated in, and I'm practicing at the moment. So I have a manager who manages this shop, so I don't have to be here every day, but I do the books, the taxes, everything that goes on outside the day-to-day running of a business. So it's quite hectic actually, because I've got to know which products are moving fast, which products are not actually moving.
As systems engineer cum interior store owner, two totally different worlds. However, Ivasta Kahundes is a testimony that it can be done, as she has done it, and she has done it well.
Let's now take a look at the financial markets. And that's all we had for you on this week's edition of Money Matters. Do join us next week for yet another edition. If you would like to get in touch with us, get onto our Facebook page or drop. Happy to get back to you. Till next week, bye-bye.
You can bring everybody in parliament as long as they can wake up and vote for their NRM.
As long as the voters exercise their rights to elect their leaders, there was no need for term limits in Uganda.
I know him. I know how he operates. I know how he thinks.
There are ways you can go around these obstacles.
Why should I conduct myself as if I am Muyai?
It's absolutely true. I admired President Museveni.
Is the ICC a fiscal code targeting African leaders?
You cannot tell me that the whole trouble Kenya had revolved about only the two individuals.
The money is not in the budget of this financial year.
You can't beat God. You see, God is polygamous also. Look at Jeremiah chapter 31.
The security of this country will largely depend on.
What's that?
That document.
Oh, that. Just some business.
I came to apologize. I have no right to interfere in your lives.
I've eliminated the only evidence that links me to Ivan Chinawa's death.
But you didn't have to kill another person.
It's not like I've got anything to hide, Nene. Just go ahead.
Victoria, how is it like to work for Miles Filagazi?
Blood seemed to matter not.
Blood?
Yeah, blood.
I'm responsible for your father's death.
Are you and I ever gonna have a chance to be sisters?
You want the baby to have my name?
Would that be okay?
So I'm happy you came. Yes, especially since I thought you were shunning all things Newman.
I have my own reasons for showing up.
What did you say about him?
I'm sorry, attempted rape.
Okay, look, whatever you think you know about him, you don't know his heart.
If there is a way to make
You will instinctively find it.
You gave up the one woman you loved, and now you're having a hard time figuring out how to move on?
I can't imagine who would want to hurt a good man like you.
Okay, you know what? I don't need you telling me how to feel about Lily.
Are you pregnant? No. Then why are you trying to alienate Tyler?
Has something happened between the two of you? Are you afraid that I'm gonna do something to ruin your marriage, or? Honey, how's that? Now, what are you gonna do? You gonna blackmail them this time, or are you gonna bribe them?
Looks like Mommy's not the only one who knows how to make up a story.
NTV, turning on your world.
Only 20% of the entire land in the country is titled. What this means is that most of the land in the country cannot support formal business transaction, including being presented as collateral for credit access. But that's the topic for Money Matters, and on the show today, the forces behind the resolution of the sugar trade impasse between Kenya and Uganda, bank closures and the safety nets to protect the depositors, also the benefits behind cashless business operations. The Central Bank last week suspended Global Trust Bank's license, citing loss-making as one of the reasons for the move. This begs the question whether the problem is with the market or the business model deployed by the banking industry players. The analysis of these conditions is the focus of the View from the Top segment today.
Just give us an idea. How is the market like? Is it tough, or are these guys failing to get it right?
I think when you look at the banking sector, it's a quite competitive sector. 26 or so banks, more coming on board. I think it's a tight market. Competition is high, and therefore businesses or banks that have solid business models to be able to progress and move forward.
But when we look at some of these players, I mean, now like Global Trust Bank, of course their argument or their setting line when they were coming in was that they are part of a strong group. What could have led to a situation that we saw unraveling last week for such a strong institution?
When you read reports, you look at the financial reports that these banks put out every year as a rule or regulation by BOU. You read through the financials, you see an institution that is struggling. Now, quite clearly, gold for the last 7 or so years that they've been here, they've had a very rough time in terms of meeting targets and therefore making profits for the shareholders. So clearly, for any business, I'm talking about any business apart from banks, if 3 years down the road you're not breaking even, then you know that something is wrong. Your business model is not properly aligned.
Very good. Could it be the same problem maybe facing newer banks, for lack of a better word? We have some of these institutions that came in about 5 years ago.
Yes.
Maybe about 5 or 4 of them. I will not mention the names. But if you look at the financials of some of these fairly newer banks that have joined the market recently, they're not really that rosy. They're not that good. Could it be an issue of the model still?
Well, this particular make a call that there are so many others struggling, because what happens when there are adverse economic conditions in the market, banks will probably be making losses. They will also take excessive risk to remain in the business. But having said that, as well, makes a decision to come and invest here, bring in so many millions of dollars to invest in Uganda, they must have their business case made out, their feasibility very well thrashed out, and convince shareholders to bring in the capital. My view is that perhaps some of the investors that come don't understand the market conditions on the ground. They could look at return on equity, return on investment for other banks being the highest in the region, or sometimes looking very rosy, but that's half the story. I think understanding your niche is one key element.
Do we have enough safety nets for people, especially the depositors in this case? Institution like a commercial bank is shut down?
That's a good question. I think by definition, banking safety nets, basically policies that prevent bank failure. And the issue is they are designed to protect small depositors or unsophisticated customers of banks. Yes. So So it is safety nets helped promote financial stability as well. Now, for any banking system, there are normally components of these key safety nets that one looks at. One is the deposit insurance, which ensures that smaller deposits have a maximum limit that they take out in the event that a bank collapses. That is in place in Uganda. There is the other issue of the central bank playing the role of lender of last resort. Now, normally when a bank runs into liquidity problems, the lender of last resort comes in short-term liquidity to make it afloat so that they can reorganize themselves and be able to come back and do business. Of course, the other issue is the resolution, which in this particular case of Global Trust Bank was done by BOU, where there's no closure, there's no complete closure of the bank, but there's this resolution or assumption which enables customers to move on from one bank to another and be able to continue. That's a very good approach, because what it does is it restores confidence. That's one. Two, ensures financial stability. Three, there's continuity in terms of customers being able to access their money.
Just over a year ago, Kenya, Rwanda and Uganda decided to form and work under the so-called Northern Corridor Initiative. Simply put, it constitutes a trilateral approach to executing regional projects along the Mombasa-Kampala-Kigali route. In the meantime, there has been achievements like the resolution of the old sugar problem between Kenya and Uganda. In Insight this week, we examine the approach, looking at the pros and the cons.
The East African Community is one of Africa's most dynamic regional trading blocs. After revival, several protocols, including the Customs Union and Common Market Protocols, were signed. Evidence has shown that signing translated the impact on the ground, especially on trade facilitation. Urgency in some member countries of the EAC, and probably lack of it from others, gave birth to the Northern Corridor Initiative, a coalition of Uganda, Kenya and Rwanda, which is just over a year old.
I think the negotiations were not a problem, but the social mentalities are different within the region. While we appreciate that we are the same people, the social attitude, the economic perceptions differ when you look at Uganda, when you look at Tanzania, when you look at Rwanda. Rwanda is a country ready to move forward. Kenya is a country ready to take a step forward. And Uganda is a country which will move once there is an environment. But Tanzania will want to see we are bigger. We must understand this, and the other countries cannot wait.
As in the case of the 3-year-old sugar export impasse between Uganda and Kenya.
Mine would want to understand, why are you bringing in sugar from outside the region at the same time you are exporting to Kenya under duty-free? That is what I would want to understand. Once that is addressed, I have no problem.
And so the issue dragged the new Northern Corridor Initiative decreed that it be sorted forthwith in the Kigali meeting in July 2014.
And when we were giving the usual explanations, you see the law, you see we need to change, the message was very clear. We have heard those things over and over again. Please put them aside. This is the time to go.
And so the 3-year sugar impasse was resolved in one meeting without bending any law. Another key result of this initiative is the single customs territory, where one customs declaration at the point of destination suffices through the entire transit in the corridor.
So in that way, for fuel, for example, which is the first item that we rolled out fully, we saw that between February and June, customs documents which would have been processed under the old arrangement compared to the new arrangement during the same period reduced by 92%.
Planned along the corridor are the Uganda-Kenyan oil pipeline, the standard gauge railway, whose work is underway, and fiber optic cables.
I think the initiatives in the corridor are what I can call quick wins. It's not going to bring the politics, but it's going to make the other countries say, let's follow on, because we are losing out.
The Northern Corridor presidents meet every 2 months to review all decisions, piling pressure on technocrats to deliver. After the maiden meeting, Tanzania and Burundi were invited as observers to allay any suspicions.
Kampala has been voted in the past as one of the favorite cities for tourists, one of the most peaceful cities. That is something that is changing.
Kale Kaihura, the Inspector General of Police, and President Yoweri Museveni, their alliance, they can only crack down or stop individual strikes and individual demonstrations. But I don't think they can stop the growth of militancy.
No holds barred.
Besigye and Lukwago have particular grievances against the government, some legitimate, some misguided. What should the police do? Of course, the police has to intervene, A, to protect the power of President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM from disruption by Besigye and Lukwago, but B, also, never forget this, to protect those ordinary people whose property gets destroyed.
I want to ask that many think that they've actually been frustrated.
Opposition parties in Africa do not tend to be constructed around policy differences. FDC lacks a glue to hold power-hungry individuals together.
Incisive.
You see, the NRM is more divided internally than the FDC. The advantage with
Analytical.
I think that one of the best organized political parties in Uganda is the PPP, the People's Progressive Party of Uganda. This idea that everybody is telling around the world that Africans are poor and they cannot contribute to their own political and social emancipation is crap. In fact, I think that the opposition parties in Uganda have to win an election in an unfair and unleveled ground.
Newsnight with Andrew Mwenda.
NTV, turning on your world.
What would you consider when you are going to open up a personal or business account with a commercial bank? With the variety of more than 20 banks available and the risks and benefits therein, we give you some tips on how to make money this week.
The days of keeping money under your bed or burying it somewhere have passed. So, for serious people, a bank account should be a good place. But as it turns out, having a bank account is not an automatic decision. Let's start with why you need a bank account.
It goes back to all of us. I think we should not make this as an emotional decision. It should be an objective decision where we sit and say, fine, I need an account. And sometimes there are easy ways where you make a decision and sleep over it. Just say, yes, I want to open this account in this bank, but let me give it 2 days. You've already made up your mind, but think a little bit deeper. And 2 days, you either confirm and say, yes, I really want to do this, and then you go ahead. Or you find something else comes up and say, maybe I don't really need it. Yeah, but obviously anyone in the formal sector needs a bank account.
With the current state of the economy, it is more important than ever that your bank account works for you and that you are getting the most out of it.
What should the account be doing for me? Do I want a salary account where I get my salary every now and then? Do I want an account where maybe I intend to get a mortgage later, so they need to see how my money goes and maybe the magnitude and things like that? Do I want an account maybe where I can have access to foreign exchange even when I'm maybe not in the major cities or not around in the country? Do I want an account, for instance, where I can access it in all the towns in Uganda or in East Africa for that matter? So I think those are some of the things within. And then how much am I willing to pay for maintaining that account? Because they're going to be deducting charges.
Sometimes it seems as though the decision is as good as made for you when you are bombarded by promotions and promises by the banks. Take it with a pinch of salt.
We need to look and see what are the facilities in this product. Sometimes I think we need to go for the small print as well. Yeah, when you look at a brochure, there are some things which are usually far hidden. You want to look at those. There could be some disclaimer, so that later you don't go. But again, it's funny, even I don't think it's so hard to close in case you feel you've opened one.
God created man to marry a woman. Why should you intervene in some people's culture?
Cabinet ministers signed petition as more MPs rally in support of the Anti-Gay Act. We are glad you're joining us on NTV tonight.
Coming to you live on the air and online. We'll start by taking a look at our top stories.
They have allowed security officers to interfere with the electoral process, and we condemn them.
Keep them out. Opposition MPs demand that army stays out of elections.
Operation Change, Operation Revolutionize Agriculture, Operation Fight Poverty.
Change of tune. Makerere University starts training UPDF officers to monitor NABs.
Since 2001, when the last LC1 elections were held, we have not had elections.
Also tonight, government dragged to court over local councils.
This is NTV Tonight.
A warm welcome to NTV Tonight. I'm Maurice Mugisha.
I'm Rachel Arinitwe.
Now, lawmakers pushing for the return of the anti-homosexuality law have surpassed 125 signatures, the number of MPs required.
Last week, the Constitutional Court annulled the contentious law, with the justices faulting Parliament for passing it without quorum in violation of the House rules and the Constitution.
At least 165 MPs, including ministers, have signed the petition book as other MPs push for the suspension of Rule 15 of the Rules of Procedure to fast-track the second debate and passing of the anti-homosexuality bill.
Maurice Ochol has that report.
Yes. The book where MPs are pending their signatures is pursuit of the return of the anti-homosexuality law is having its pages filled so fast. Most lawmakers have signed to ensure a return of the controversial law that the Constitutional Court annulled last week, saying it was passed without quorum in violation of the parliamentary rules of procedure. By midday, 125 had signed, and this is the 3/4 needed to constitute quorum in the House. By midday, 125 had signed, and this is the 3/4 needed to constitute quorum in the House of 385 lawmakers, with at least 10 who have no voting rights.
And we are not looking for only for the quorum. That is, a quorum is only 125 members. But we are looking for all members of Parliament who are in support.
The legislators were upbeat, saying they can't wait to stamp the authority and pass the homosexuality bill.
In fact, there should be no retreat and no surrender. God created man to marry a woman. Why should you intervene in some people's culture?
But some MPs were critical of their colleagues wondering about the euphoria now, yet they had the opportunity to properly pass the law last year.
To blame ourselves. Those that were not there, why were they not in Parliament? You can't blame it on the Speaker. The unfortunate bit is that we have spent a bit of money on that particular law, and now we have to do it again.
But how will the homosexuality law be returned to Parliament? The MPs are pushing for the suspension of Clause 15 of the Parliamentary Rules of Procedure to fast-track the bill.
We could move to suspend that requirement, that the bill be sent to committee. So after the first reading, we can actually debate the bill and then consider it cross by cross, and then it is read the third time and it passes, even the same city.
Kinkizi East MP Dr. Chris Bariomusi says the rules allows for a fast-track process instead of taking the longer route of legislation.
That is allowed within our rules. And I think when it is reintroduced, this is the procedure that we shall follow, and within 1 day or 2 days, we can pass this bill.
Later in the evening, Leader of Opposition Wafula Guta and Opposition Chief Whip Cecilia Ogwal also threw their weight behind the push.
District. I've already been warned to keep quiet.
And after the weekly cabinet meeting, State Minister for Ethics and Integrity, the Reverend Father Simon Lokodo, who has been key in fighting homosexuality, also signed a book alongside State Minister for Lands Ida Nantawa. Parliament is expected to resume next Tuesday, and the lawmakers want this item debated immediately. More research all NTV at Parliament.
Thank you, Maurice. The role of Uganda's army and other security agency personnel in the electioneering process remains a combustible issue. Less than 2 years before the country goes to polls, opposition lawmakers are appealing to the Electoral Commission.
The deployment of security agents during elections has returned to haunt the Electoral Commission Badru Chigundu to rein in security for this sanity during elections.
By RDCs, by district internal security officers, by policemen, by the process, and we condemn that.
The role of the army in Uganda's checkered political power in 1986. Since then, the ruling party has tried to keep a delicate balance between an army that's serving both regime and state interests. It wasn't said the army will only... It will call for... has a budgetary shortfall of 63 billion shillings for the 2016 elections. Fears are also abound that the biometric data, which is meant to cure rigging during the 2016 polls, could fail. However, Chigundu said the equipment, which is worth, will deliver the 2016.
Now that's...
Well, to have your say, your responses, and of course the discussion
in the President's office has caused the successful prosecution and conviction of 76 medical workers for stealing drugs in government hospitals and health centers. The Minister for Presidency, Frank Tumwebazi, made the revelation while appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs to deliver his ministerial policy statement with the 39 billion shillings to approve 1.5 billion shillings for the Health Services Monitoring Unit to inspect 350 health centers.
It emerged that 76 medical workers could lose their practice after they were convicted for stealing drugs in government hospitals and health centers. Minister Tumwebaze informed the committee that the Medicines and Health Services Delivery Monitoring Unit in the Office of the President has successfully seen the prosecution and conviction of the medical workers.
Should we leave people that they are doctors, yet they store, and courts have found them guilty? Whether they can come back and serve is a question for the public service to determine. But it is evidence to tell you that there has been rot in the sector.
Out of the 155 cases, the courts convicted 76 medical workers. 18 cases were dismissed, 7 are acquitted, while 54 cases are pending in court. The unit headed by Dr. Diana Twine was allocated 1.5 billion shillings for its monitoring visits to 350 hospitals and health centers. But some lawmakers say this is too much money.
I was looking at 550 million for the wages of only 7 people. And then you look at their non-wage expenditure rising to about... Who had embezzled money? For about 3 months.
For the NRM party.
Minister for mobilization and whatever he is mobilizing, I don't know what you are doing. Would you tell this committee whether you think you are useful?
Taxpayers start paying for implementation of the NRM. This is absurd.
Parliament we have every year passes budgets.
And to spend the state
The People's Defense Forces are on a mission to fight poverty. According to the Chief of Defense Forces, General Katumba Wamala, the army is set to actively participate in the agricultural sector, taking over the role that the National Agricultural Advisory Services was earlier assigned. Before the President directed the city, they will be assigned to consider all over the country that there is a change.
The UPDF officers are here in this room not to talk about to fight that almost to class for about
to mean trained in agriculture. That's why they call it induction.
Sarah Kataiki. Discriminative, which your ministry has called the integration a milestone in the development of Uganda's history.
Instead of getting, in fact, our army redundant, now
with those challenges, we can't fail working in partnership with the ministers of agriculture, the ministers of Luwero, and all the willing Ugandans.
During the celebrations of Heroes Day in Luwero in 2013, President Museveni responded to the cause disbanded. He decided to let the General Katired of every soldier. Florence Halimba, NTV.
Thanks, Florence. Now, the parents of a child born with a parasite have resolved.
Man who has a parasitic twin, and since they be discharged so that they could return home with their child.
There's nobody to care for them, and when they...
But now, Owino and her husband, Boniface Okonga, who lived in Nabijingo in Bujiri district, moved to Busheld operated on abroad. Mulago Hospital spokesperson Enoch Sasla says they have been regular in the preparation at this stage.
As far as we are concerned, the investigations first of all
be exposed to infections as people crowd to look at the baby as they give handouts.
We're taking a very short break and return with these stories.
U.S. courts Africa through billions in trade at U.S.-Africa Summit.
And in our weekly feature, On the Farm, the allure of quail.
Luxury, true value, a perfect measure of your home life at one.
Each year, the vaccines are effective, safe and free of charge. Choose life for your child.
The best in Ugandan movies. Attend movie screenings, exhibitions, and seminars from top professionals. Participate by submitting your films to compete for categories honoring the best in cinematography, short film, student films, sound, documentary, animation, costumes, screenplay, feature film, and much more. The Uganda Film Festival 2014 will run from 25th to 29th of August 2014. For more information, go to www.mission Spring Road, Bugolobi.
Are you in need of a loan with the most favorable terms? The Microfinance Support Center Limited provides for aggregate to 17% per annum, loan period of up to 4 years, and a grace period of up to 6 months. Loans are extended to small and medium enterprises, cooperative unions, area cooperative enterprises, producer and marketing cooperatives, saving and credit cooperative organizations, and microfinance companies. The Microfinance Support Center Limited also funds women, youth, persons with disabilities, and the elderly organized in cooperatives. Please call us on our toll-free lines below.
Attention, all NGOs.
The time has come for all NGOs in Uganda to show their credibility by embracing NGO self-regulation through the Quality Assurance Mechanism Initiative, QAM. Once you're QAM certified, you raise your profile. You distinguish yourself as an NGO committed to your mission and as a credible entity in the eyes of your peers, government, development partners, and the general public. A QAM certified accreditation mechanism.
Welcome back. You're watching NTV Tonight. Let's recap for you our poll question for tonight. We're asking you to comment on the demands by opposition MPs that the army should not be involved in elections.
Well, that discussion is ongoing on Facebook and on Twitter. Do send a message as well to 6565. Let's quickly sample some of your responses so far. Maurice?
Well, something here of SMS without a name, anonymous. The army has no mandate whatsoever to be directly involved in the world.
And response here on Facebook from Kaviri, who says, based on our historical past of hostilities, we risk a lot by allowing the army to meddle into the country's election business. We have come a long way as a nation, but allowing the army to engage in active politics will mean that we have learned nothing from our history, and thus we lack a clear sense of direction as a country. It's quite long, but that's the gist of it.
Well, Sami of Dokolo FM says, yes, to avoid intimidating voters, indeed, it will be free and fair without the soldiers.
All right, Derek Seja seems to agree. He says it's wrong using the army because it is meant to scare the voters.
Well, there is another anonymous SMS here that says, yes, it's true, the army shouldn't be involved in the general elections because they already have a part, so we need free and fair elections.
On my handled properly by the EC and the police, the army should keep to the borders and other areas, please.
Well, we'll probably conclude on this, which is a pretty open one, and another anonymous one, where the presence at polling centers should be a non-issue.
All right, do keep the conversation going on Facebook and on Twitter, and feel free to have your say.
Well, moving on, the local council system is back in the spotlight as the government is dragged to court over its continued use, despite a court ruling several years ago that declared that they were illegal under the new pollution.
A Ugandan, John Edward Agaba, has filed a civil suit in the High Court asking court to nullify all declarations and recommendations as well as all forms of documents issued by local councils 1 and 2.
Shelandu Huchire with more.
In applying for an official document for instance, local council 1 chairman of their village. But on 3rd April 6, in petition number, Court General Institute whether the office bearer Act 2000 provided for the electoral through his lawyers from
people. The other 51 leaders, his first presidency. Several he has had
solve problems
and carry. The sideline talks were based on this.
And we will do everything in our power. There is a tribal
has been redone by contemporary
to have light after dark. Eggs for change the get the
version, actually recorded edition
by the Constitution. NTV.
If you got 100%, they are coming to invest in. They said they want to buy it. In this case, the hostility to homosexuality does not have any merit. Whether it is a wrong culture, it's like, should we sacrifice them the right to have an education, deny them the right to work? Do you think we should defend that culture? So in this case, what is the case do they have against homosexuals? Zero. They are saying, by the way, I should tell you, I am taking a group of Ugandans who are aged between 25 and 35 who are gay. I'm taking them to meet the president because I admire President Yoweri Museveni for one thing. Although
and those are foreigners, not Ugandans.
They're Ugandans.
Okay.
Although he is very hostile to homosexuality and disagrees with the practice, he wants to listen to these people and know. And he said, "Get me young people and to ask them."
He did commission the research even without talking to them.
I was telling you because he said, "Is this a choice?" And I said, "I have interviewed so many." I asked them, "Why do you choose to be homosexual in a society that is so hostile to this lifestyle?" And they tell me,
"And a society with very many beautiful ladies."
Exactly. And they tell me, "Look, Andrew, when I was growing up, even when I was in P6, even when I was in P5, P4, when I was become sexually aware, I felt I was not attracted to men, I was attracted to fellow girls. Or I was not attracted to girls, I was attracted to fellow guys. I have interviewed these homosexuals in Uganda in the hundreds, and I agreed to take them so the president can also listen to their own personal testimonies.
All right.
So do you want them to be killed for who they are, Maurice? I'm asking you a question.
No. Finally,
if you're born with one arm, let me ask you a question.
Assuming
Assuming you are born with one eye or one arm,
you'd have to learn
or one leg. Do you think this country should pass a law to kill you?
No. Let's finally clear this, because many have always criticized us as NTV and yourself for offering even this opportunity for you to speak about this.
And you being a coward,
you're not against the bill per se about the character of homosexuals and why they should be persecuted. You said you would support anybody who went on the streets and said, let's stop promoting homosexuality. If say it's happening in schools,
let me speak for myself instead of you speak. I have said two things. If there is any man or woman who has sex with a minor of the same gender, which is normally called defilement, they should be taken to jail. I will demonstrate on the streets in defense of that right. Two, if there is a man or a woman who has forced sex with a person of the same gender, which is rape, forced sex, I would be on the streets of Kampala. I will be one of those to support that law. But if Andrew Mwenda and Maurice Mugisha, two adults, decide to go to the privacy of their bedroom and do whatever they want to do there, I consider that to be their business, and that the people of Uganda should not begin patrolling people's bedrooms to know which man is doing what with which man. Do you know what I mean? I find that a big intrusion onto people's privacy.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And that wraps it up for Newsnight tonight. We'll take a very short break. Malcolm Musime will be here with the latest from the business world.
This is NTV Tonight.
You can feel it sweeping across Uganda, on the streets and in the offices, in the coffee shops and malls, in every university and home, and in every heart. It's a new optimism. This is when goals are reached and aspirations realized. This is when it all becomes possible. Standard Chartered Grand Sale. Standard Chartered. Here for good.
Vaccination protects against many diseases. The African Vaccination Week is a good time for everyone, particularly children, to get vaccinated and benefit from other health interventions for free. Let's get vaccinated. We all have a role to play to make our communities healthy. It is a shared responsibility.
Are you looking for genuine products and services in building and roads construction, solar energy, water drainage, lighting, lamps, carpets, curtains, blinds and site works? Come to the 12th Construction and Interiors Exhibition. Starts the 7th of August to the 9th of August at the main exhibition hall, Lugago Showground. Sponsored by the Uganda National Roads Authority and supported by the Ministry of Works and Transport. The exhibition is free to the general public. To book space, please call 0701 882 166. Remember, the 12th Construction and Interiors Exhibition at the main exhibition hall from the 7th to the 9th of August 2014.
Son, I hope you are using the right paint. You know children can be messy and the walls can get dirty.
Dad, it's fine. I've got this under control. Keep the walls inside your house free of stains with vinyl silk emulsion from Sadolin.
Still, what paint are you using? I hope you're using Sadolin.
Sadolin, color your world. Trusted and admiration
has led to poor not learning
So the future of the country is at stake. In the production sector, our farmers can't access markets due to bad roads.
It's back, it's bigger, it's better. The Eastern League of the Anti-Corruption Caravan is here. Look out and participate in the Anti-Corruption Caravan in your district. Forward women and men of integrity to the caravan. Shame the thieves. Secure the future of Uganda. Fight corruption now. This message is brought to you by Action Aid with support from DGF.
NTV Business is brought to you by
NSSF, a better future.
Very good evening. Welcome to NTV Business Latest. My name is Malcolm Simi. An update with what is happening at the U.S. Trade Summit. Now, the United States, in a new wave of cooperation with Africa, is now speaking trade worth billions, promised in investment, and this is not the in India.
U.S. Seriously, for many reasons.
Reserve, where some of the residents claim
a way for the introduction of the pass service to be legally occupying the claimants have documentation including land title.
I want to inform you that there is a title issued by us on the same.
Finally tonight, now with nearly 30% of credit advanced last year now counted as non-performing, financial sector players believe that expanding leasing of assets and equipment would enhance recovery of bad loans in future. The reality on the ground is that it points at the low uptake of loans, estimated at under 20% of existing credit portfolio of most institutions.
Financial sector, in particular credit of machinery and equipment, may be the way to go.
Most SMEs, which form a bulk of our customers, have got a problem of security. They do not have the collateral to be able to obtain the loan. So the advantage that leasing gives is that the financed asset is the collateral.
And with most financial institutions still struggling to clean their books of non-performing assets, it's a reason that leasing can mutually drive businesses into sustainable growth.
It offers flexibility in the acquisition of equipment. The business is able to plan its cash flow properly because you do not need to plan to pull out the money from your business to be able to procure the asset.
Barbara Buyondo Fono runs a host of educational institutions under Victoria's Education Services. She is involved in leasing of vehicle assets and says she has enabled her free capital for alternative investments.
Interest, even 1% is a lot of money. So you always have to look out for where you can get the least cost at quality. You mind quality, but you also look at the possible costs that you can avoid. So if you get that offer, you jump at it because it will save you a lot. Paying loans is not something easy. It's hard work.
Financially developed markets are said to anchor a considerable portion of their existing banking portfolio into leasing and mortgage, easing room for efficient payback by clients. Reina Ojon, NTV Business.
That's it on NTV Business for tonight. My name is Malcolm Sime. But up next, very important information from NSSF, and we call it the NSSF Flash.
I feel more connected to my NSSF because they put me first, and I'm confident I will be paid all of my savings. I also know my savings are secure and are being invested in the best way possible.
NSSF, a better future.
Use White Star Laundry Bar Soap with a lemon fragrance and you'll have a fresh, clean day. Be like a star. Use White Star.
Don't disturb Daddy. My daddy is a star.
White Star Laundry Bar Soap. All day fresh clean.
Types of benefits. Immigration grant. Paid to a contributing member who has been working in Uganda and is leaving the country permanently. It is paid to both Ugandans and non-Ugandans. Qualifying conditions. Proof of permanent residency in new country. Requirements. End of contract or termination letter from employer.
This is new Close-Up Deep Action. We created it to give the world 3 times fresher breath and eliminate up to 99% of germs. Maybe we went too far. There's an outbreak of freshness. So celebrate, turn up the volume, jubilate. We really love. Now the best ever from Close-Up. 3 times fresher breath.
Get ready to be counted. Knowing how many we are makes it easy to plan for all of us. So, answer all questions correctly. Your information is confidential and is only used for equitable resource allocation, improving service delivery, and planning. Count for what counts. Starting from 28th August to 6th September 2014, together we count.
Welcome to Victoria University, a world-class standard institution with a conducive environment.
At Victoria University, we welcome all students. We offer degree, diploma and certificate courses in health sciences, business management, humanities and social sciences, science and technology, and short courses in oil and gas. Internship opportunities are available. Each student receives a free laptop. We also have first-class facilities like a well-stocked library, computer laboratory, lecture rooms, and clinical skills laboratory.
Victoria University is conveniently located at Victoria Towers, Ginger Road, Kampala, Uganda. For more information, call 0417 727 000 or visit our website www.vu.ac.ug. Victoria University. Come prepared to learn, live prepared to succeed.
Welcome to NTV Sport. Now tonight, Uganda's representatives to the Sekafa Kagame Cup, KCCFC, are preparing to take a 2 a.m. flight to the Rwandan capital Kigali, where the regional championship will be held.
Now, head coach George Nsimbe recently named a 20-man squad that he hopes will help KCCFC win its second Sekafa club title.
The squad includes 9 new acquisitions, one of whom is striker Brian Omon.
This will be Omon's second spell with KCC FC following a hugely successful fast run-out that saw him score 34 goals in the club's unmistakable yellow streak between 2007 and 2009.
Omon was released by Azam FC after helping them win the Tanzanian Top Flight League last season.
Tonight, Azam is also preparing to feature in the Kagame Cup that kicks off on Friday.
This as the Sekafa Secretariat kicks out Tanzania's would-be representative, Yanga, for promising to field a weekend side during the championship.
Day 5 of the 41st Chess Olympiad in the Norwegian city of Tromsø has brought better fortunes for Team Uganda in both the open and women's sections. Now, Uganda's women candidate Masters Ivy Amoko and Fiona Mutesi were in devastating form on boards 2 and 4 against their counterparts from Netherlands Antilles. Losses by Grace Kigeni and Goreti Angolikin, however, ensured that Uganda shared the spoils. Uganda's men were also in lethal form tonight. Elijah Emojong, Patrick Kauma, Harold Wanyama and Arthur Segwani all won their matches in a flawless display against Ethiopia. Let's stay with chess because the FIDE presidential election is set to take center stage after the 41st Chess Olympiad. The election will pit incumbent FIDE president Kirsan Ilyomizhinov against former world chess champion Garry Kasparov. The run-up to the election has been marred by accusations of irregularities. Now 176 of 181 members of FIDE are eligible to vote. Uganda Chess Federation has already made up its mind about how it will cast its vote, as Alfred Odong reports.
2 trips to Uganda by Garry Kasparov in the space of less than a year are increasingly proving to be futile. Kasparov is vying for the FIDE presidency and had thought that his overtures in Uganda had yielded fruit. NTV Sport, however, can reveal that Uganda will be voting in favor of the incumbent FIDE president Kirsan Ilyomizhinov at next weekend elective assembly in Tromsø, Norway. Uganda Chess Federation say that a move to further grow the sport is what ultimately informed their choice.
Yes, indeed, Uganda is going for the incumbent, and that is Kirsan Ilyomizhinov. It is an open secret. We have enjoyed a very cordial and mutual working relation with him over the years. We continue to closely work with the FIDE through his administration. For instance, quite a number of plans are lined up. We are already lined up for hosting the Zone 4.2 Africa Chess Championship next year in Uganda. It will be in Kampala in May. That such a tournament brings a lot of benefits to the country.
During his visit to Uganda early this year, Kasparov was radiantly received by the chess top brass. The Russian Grandmaster pitched his master plan to popularize chess at schools and higher institutions of learning.
And I believe that, over a few years we can keep up with this work, and eventually I also believe that the respective governments will recognize the benefits and will include these programs into the educational system.
This appeared to have earned Kasparov the thumbs up. The 51-year-old former world #1 also donated 7 tables under the Garry Kasparov Chess Foundation. If he thought this was sweeteners, he was wrong. Ilyomizhinov is the one who is rest assured of Uganda's vote. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
On to matters golf. The 72nd edition of the Uganda Open will for the first time have a Pro-Am. The tournament, which tees off on the 1st of September, is tonight dangling a juicy carrot before distinguished golfers who ply their tread on both the European and Sunshine Tours. Now, as some poser reports, the Uganda Golf Union will be relying on the financial muscle of a string of stakeholders to ensure that the tournament's latest story is written in the stars.
71 Uganda Open Championships have been previously held, but none financially matches the one that will tee off at the Par 72 Chitante Golf Course on 1st September. An eye-popping 500 million shillings have been injected in Uganda's premier golf tournament by title sponsors Tusker Mount in conjunction with Sheraton Hotel, South Africa Airways and Uganda Tourism Board. 100 million shillings have been earmarked as prize money in the professional category. Invitations have been sent out to the Sunshine and European Tour. Tournament organizers hope that the handsome prize money will attract many professional golfers. If the prize money doesn't act as a magnet for foreign golfers, then an offer of free return tickets from South Africa Airways and free accommodation from Sheraton Hotel surely does. Uganda Professional Golfers Association Chairman Deo Akope says this development works well for the sport.
I've always said, maybe before, God forbid, before I die, that we shall always play for a certain amount of money, like say 100 million plus. And for sure, once again to say this is, Tusker has done it for us.
Akope also believes having knowledge about the course will give Ugandans a slight advantage.
The course is taking a new shape, new dimensions, certain things are being put in place. But nevertheless, it's our home course, is where we are playing every day. And we hope what we call the home advantage will take its course, and probably because we know which areas of the course are tougher, which areas we should not go, which areas we should place our balls, we should take that into account to be able to return good scores.
NTV Golf Club's Vincent Byamukama won the professionals category last year. Uganda is expected to field over 50 professional golfers to take on the rest of the world. Peter Sendaula is the defending champion in the amateurs category.
Sam Poza, NTV Sport.
On the international stage, Bayern Munich are set to sign Pepe Reina from Liverpool on a permanent basis. Formula One boss Bernie Ecclestone has agreed to pay $100 million to pull the plug on a bribery trial before a Germany court. This and more in our international sports roundup.
Bayern Munich have agreed a deal to sign Liverpool goalkeeper Pepe Reina. The German champions have revealed Reina will have a medical after they agree a fee with the Reds and personal terms with the 31-year-old Spain international. Reina had fallen out of favour at Anfield under Brendan Rodgers and spent last season on loan at Napoli. He joined the Marseille side club in 2005 and made 394 appearances. He was the club's undisputed number 1 for 8 seasons and played in the 2007 Champions League final. Reina had been linked with a permanent move to Napoli, coached by former Liverpool boss Rafael Benitez, but the Italian club refused to meet Liverpool's $3.95 million release clause. In Formula One, a German court has agreed to end a bribery trial with F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone in exchange for $100 million payment from him. Mr. Ecclestone's offer was based on an existing provision in the German law. He went on trial in April accused of paying a German banker $44 million to ensure that a German company he favored could buy a stake in Formula One. In golf, Tiger Woods has until 10 minutes before Thursday's tee-off time at the US PGA to declare himself fit to play following a back injury. The 4-time US PGA winner requested an extension to the deadline for registration, which is usually 5 p.m. on the eve of the tournament, and it was granted. Scott Colin Montgomery says Woods will suffer if he plays in Valhalla.
And that wraps up NTV Sport tonight.
And with that, we come to the close of our newscast tonight. If you missed any part of this bulletin, do catch it online, youtube.com/NTV Uganda. The conversation continues as well on Facebook and on Twitter using the hashtag NTV Tonight.
Good evening.
This is urgent from Ministry of Sports. Okay.
Match. Yes, I'm going. We are not going to be. I've just received the news that Ugandans. Wait. Yes. I know, but, you see, we discussed this in the East African Federation that we are not going to mention countries. Yes, it might have been an error, but again, this error will not continue every time, because when you defeated us in soccer, you said Kenya defeated Uganda. Yes, okay, I'm listening. Okay. And to make matters worse, they have, let me see. Yes, no, I'm just consulting someone. I'm only saying retake. Yes. All the athletes anem the retake Kiprotich, Kipsang, Kipragat, Kipmoy. So I'm only saying chip. I'm not seeing anyone from Uganda. I said I'm not seeing anyone from Uganda, Biaruhanga, Twinamasko. But my dear comrade, we said in East African Federation we should not mention countries. Yes, it would have been East Africa failed to match East Africa in cross country.